start today. So any and all technical difficulties that we expect to have, we're going to have them this morning as we try to get everything in gear. The intention is to bring as much information into the public space as usual as we are accustomed to doing. And we will take your calls, we will take your interactions. You could WhatsApp or text me on 682-2110. I am following the illustrious Mikey K, the Pitbull, and Lennox, and the very vibrant Ground Report. I think they're trying to set my volume levels, and Philip Edward Alexander is very verbose when he speaks. So we're good there. I'm getting signals that I'm slowing down and stop.
Political broadcast. M104.7 FM.
Must be that, right?
I remember a time when I used to be nervous to come on a radio station or a TV station, but that, I guess, is long behind us. We've been doing this for long enough now that we should know what we're doing. Listening to former PNM Finance Minister Mariano Brown describe the insanity that is the Petro. We are looking out now to see what else is going to come of this, because Mariano Brown has warned, and thinking people everywhere could understand for themselves. And this doesn't make sense. We understand that Petrotrin had debt. There's been a lot of conversation about the debt surrounding Petrotrin. And a lot of that debt is PNM sponsored debt. A lot of that debt is because of the direct efforts of Malcolm Jones, Conrad Enel, Ken Julian, Patrick Manning, and the rest of that band that sought to use Petrotrin as an opportunity for them to get themselves where they wanted to be. Unfortunately, it saddled Petrotrin with $13 billion in debt. And that conversation as to who will pay that back is now a moot conversation, as both Manning and Jones are dead. But the question remains, what happened to the asset base of Petrotrin? Nobody's having this conversation. We do not know who the new owners of Petrotrin are. That is the truth. We are going to find out that Petrotrin is no longer a state enterprise. What is happening here is a transfer of public assets to other owners, and the country, the people of this country have to ask questions. We need details. What is going on? It is happening like a fire sale. It is coming across like a looting. I asked yesterday, Franklin Kahn, Minister of Energy, can you advise the nation how Amalgamated Security Services was given the contract to take over the security at Petrotrin? Was there a tender process? Was NIPDEC involved in advising you, the minister? Was NIPDEC involved in advising the new process going forward? Was NIPDEC blindsided by a sole select to Michael Aboud-owned Amalgamated Security Services? How did this come to be? We, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, need to know. Now, I want to say this. Amalgamated Security is about to inherit an up and running functional security service, a security force, that had the responsibility of securing Petrotrin. Amalgamated Security have no clue how to secure Petrotrin, none whatsoever. They have to learn. They have to learn from the experienced security officers who have been securing Petrotrin for all these decades. What happens here is that a lot of these same officers that used to work for Trinidad and Tobago, used to work for the state, used to work for Petrotrin, now going to be working for Amalgamated, and an extra layer of cost called profit is being added on top of that. So we privatize a functional public security service. To whose advantage? How did that make sense to anybody? Trinidad and Tobago needs to wake itself up and ask these questions. How did the government determine that of all the cost-cutting measures they could entertain, one of them was to take a functional security service and disband it and hand it over to a private security service that does not know how to secure that facility? How does that make sense to anybody? And today, we are going to be taking your calls from early o'clock on 628-9595 and 628-3131. We are walking a nation, we are walking on a planet today where the French people told the French government in no uncertain terms, we will not accept your price increase. We will not be bullied by any threats of riot police. We are going to stand up for our country, that you work for us, that public servants and the Prime Minister and the President are paid public servants, and that you were hired and you could be fired. And the French people were successful. Like every other circumstance where the people of a country stand up lawfully, legally for their democratic rights. We are being penned in. We are being corralled. We are being herded. We are being treated like people that have no say. But we want to take a short break to play a song for you right now to set the mood that we were going to start with. And we will play that song for you right now. And we will come back and take calls. 628-9595, 628-3131. We're going to be taking it forward from here. Thank you for joining me this morning.
Yeah! Revelation!
Start on point one time. Yeah? Okay. This is what you meant, but it's not going.
Chase.
Yeah.
You fucking pretender. Chicken bricks and I come to test you. Far too long, you fooling the children. Fell in the head with very much education. Who's they reach out and they repeat, cause the children coming to take back the kid. The power of the word in the conscious styling. Even the day for a brand new morning. The power of the word in the rap so styling. Rocking the roots of the conscious.
This is a paid political broadcast on M104.7 FM.
Right, yes, so we're back inside. Is my microphone on? Yes. Give me a thumbs up. Yes, I have a microphone is on, and we are going to deal with this, all of these issues this morning. I see we have calls trying to come in already, so maybe we could start by taking them now. Those of you following us live on social media, you're probably not going to be able to hear some of these calls, but you will hear the answers. Hello, good morning. So far, so good. How are you this morning, my friend? Thank you very much for that. What that caller said to me is that saying that Amalgamated Security is incapable and that I should have some more information to add to that. I want to add this to that. Petrotrin Security have been doing a fantastic job over the decades. I cannot remember in my lifetime any serious breaches of security that took place within that compound. And if that information exists, then you ought to send that information to me. But from what I gather, Petrotrin, through all of the administrations, through all of the obfuscations of all the different prime ministers and all the different terms of office, Petrotrin was still a secured and operated organization. Let's go again. Hello, good morning. Wow, it's been a while. It's been a while talking to you on the radio. Yes, yes, I'm hearing you. Thank you for that. Thank you for that, my brother. And I want to tell you something. You're absolutely correct and spot on. And I have been saying that Petrotrin is a crime scene. But what do you do in a country where there are no offices of state, no office holders of state responsible for protecting the interests of the people? We're talking about workers. What about the shareholders, the stakeholders in the state? What about the citizens of the republic? Take that call there. Hello, good morning. Yes, good morning. And that's my point, caller, and that's my point. Caller, if you are saying that Amalgamated Security was training to protect, all right, but you can't just make a suggestion. You said to me earlier, and then you call back to agree, that you can't secure an industrial plant like that without understanding what exactly you're securing. Yes or no? I asked you a question, yes or no? You agree, right? And you can't take green security officers and rest them down and then just start back up that plan just so we and we agree. We agree on that. You are saying what I am saying, and we agree. Yeah, don't take that personally now. Let everybody have their say. You talk your talk. No. Call us, stick up in. I'm not even there. The conversation I having is, how did this come to be? Thank you, my friend. Thanks for the call. Have a good day. And listen, we have to face the reality. We have to face the reality that what took place with Petrotrin still does not add up. We have a situation where in June, the chairman of the company and the Minister of Energy were telling the nation that Petrotrin was doing well. Petrotrin was doing well. Petrotrin was profitable. It's like when Clarence Rambarat said Caroni Green was a symbol of a productive state enterprise earning essential foreign exchange, and the next year shut it down completely. This is a bipolar government. Keith Rowley and his band of malcontents and never-do-wells have no idea what it is they're trying to do. They have no idea, and what is going on is coming across to the average person as a looting of the nation. Anywhere that you see valuable state asset or enterprise, 1% financiers, friends and family are trying to get their gnarly fingers on it. And we say, the Progressive Empowerment Party says, and we're very clear about this, Petrotrin workers, ignore the nonsense and the old talk. Keep your uniforms, keep your PPE safety equipment, keep yourself ready. If there is any input by the Progressive Empowerment Party into government, then that madness done by Keith Christopher Mugabe Sabga Rowley will be undone. We will reopen the original Petrotrin. And I will go further and say this. Caroni Limited had a part to play in the development of Trinidad and Tobago. Billions of US dollars is wasted every single year, bringing in imported food at profiteering and gouging prices. Caroni Limited could have put our farmers to work. Entrepreneurial farming could have been our reality. Let's take that call there. Hello, good morning.
Yes, Mr. Alexander, you come out with a party this year or next year?
We have a party that was launched on January 18, 2017. It's called the Progressive Empowerment Party.
Okay, you're going up for local next year?
We're going up for everything. If they call a bingo, we're taking our part in that.
All right, okay, well, I look forward to that.
Thank you, my friend. Trinidad and Tobago, this is not a flip-flop party like the MSJ or the rump was left of the COP. This is a real political organization. Within months of our existence, they called 2 by-elections, and the Progressive Empowerment Party was there. AOI, ILP, COP, MSJ, all of these parties that exist, that have been existing for years. Not one of them took part in the elections. Brand spanking new, straight out the gate. Progressive Empowerment Party took part in both and got votes. The issue with Petrotrin is a serious one. It's sticking in the craw of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And I have questions to ask of 2 people, Kamla Prasad Bisesa and Ansel Roger. But let's take this call. I think we lost that one. Now, there we go.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Yes, good morning to you, sir. I've been hearing news in your Facebook and different things. And as a citizen of this country, my entire family and my neighborhood, I will be working feverishly. If you work for the government or whatever election, I want you to put a seat in Moruga Table. Could you kindly do that?
Absolutely.
Because I already sent notice to the people who come visiting the both parties. I do not want you all in my
Reject them.
either in my house.
Reject
We
them.
have made up our mind.
Yes.
We are going to vote Mr. Alexander. Please put somebody at candidate.
Absolutely. Let me give you
You already have 20.
let me give you my number. Let me give you my number. So,
Guyana seen well with oil now. I went there. They have sugar factory progressing. While this PNM dictator government closing down everything.
Absolutely.
And that country who we laughed at is progressing as a post-war country.
absolutely. Caller, before you go. Oh gosh. Anyway, if you're listening off the air, my cell phone number is 682-2110. You could feel free to send me a text message or a WhatsApp. Our team members will contact you, Shari Wilson, as party organizer, and the chair, her assistant, Michelle Davis, and all of the hubs, all of the different hubs, because Moruga Tableland, you all fall under a hub. We have the country organized already into North, East, Central, South, and Tobago, broken up into 10, 10, 9, and 2, 10, 10, 10, 9, and 2 constituencies. Those are the hubs, and your constituency will fall under that, and we probably already have a hub set up taking care of your constituency, and we'll be looking for caretakers. On January 18th, 2019, on the anniversary of the launch of the Progressive Empowerment Party, we will be formally opening the San Fernando office of the Progressive Empowerment Party. Stay tuned for that. That office is going to be open. We're taking a call here. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Compliment.
Thank you.
What I am seeing, if you put up a party, PNM going to sit there forever because you go to split vote. Thank you.
All right, let's deal with that split votes nonsense. First of all, more than half of the people in this country don't vote at all. They have nothing to do. This government is in power with 28% of the total electorate vote. That is a minority government. Most of the people that do not vote because they want nothing to do with the racist, cultist corruption of the PNM and the UNC. They want no my tribe, my base nonsense in their voting. They want to vote on plans, programs, policies, and ideas. They want to vote for people who have a real vision for the country and who have a plan to take it forward so that home ownership, the cost of living, education, healthcare leaves nobody behind. We need that kind of government, and people understand that. And I want to say this to that caller, that the PNM and the UNC and their sycophantic cult following is a small bunch of people. The rest of the people that vote for either of those parties are voting against the other. Is voting against Kamala, so you vote for Rowley, and voting against Rowley, so you vote for Kamala. But more than half of the people in this country that are eligible to the franchise do not vote at all, and it is to them we turn to rescue this country, because it is their responsibility. You said that you want neither, and I agree with you. We give you an option. Stand up for your country. Let's take that call. Hello, good morning. Yeah, I'm doing that. Thank you, my friend. And I appreciate the calls of support. I love it. But here what I want us to do. I want us to change the narrative on national radio. You see how we changed the narrative when the Progressive Empowerment Party was formed in 2017. 1 week before, what they was fighting? Roti politics. Who spend more on roti? Who zoom in who? Who iron who? Who interfering with who? That was the foolishness and the nonsense that was passing for political debate in this country, leaving supporters of both of those two parties pelting jabs at each other, and the rest of the intelligent, critical thinking conversation sitting down looking on in shame and disgust as to what passes for government. I'll give you an example, because we keep calling these people out on this, and this issue, and I'm shifting gears from Petrotrin now. It ain't going away. We have a lot of issues to deal with, and it's already 9:29. But we have to also deal with these issues, the issue of Constable Alexander, who was fired, and we at the Airports Authority, the message was clear. The message that was sent was clear, that you can be fired for doing your job in this country. That is the madness of this government. And I want to say this, fools in control. A superintendent has suspended a law enforcement officer for doing his job by insisting that government ministers follow the law. Yes, you read that right. This is a symptom of a corrupt and mad nation. Firstly, this minister, Moses, seems to have an issue with rules and should be told in no uncertain terms that he either learns to live by the same laws applied to everyone else or fire himself. Hold 1 second. We are just going to read this and then we'll take any further calls, right? Or fire himself. From day one, his appointment was a violation of law. He was not a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, and he has been consistent as a lawbreaker ever since. And the government, for whatever value it puts to messaging, at some point needs to be cognizant of the fact and the impact of telling people, especially public office holders, that they could do what the hell they like. This constable, who had the balls, belly, and backbone to do his job without fear or favor, malice, or ill will, is precisely the type of law enforcement personnel we want to encourage and use as an example to others. Not only should he be reinstated and publicly apologized to, he should be rewarded and given a bonus for his troubles, while the clown of a superintendent who sought to discipline him for doing his job and who obviously has no idea what enforcing the law means ought to have no authority over anyone else, and if he, she, it cannot be dismissed with immediate effect for cause, should be transferred to a place or position of such low importance so that the fallout and consequences of any more of these foolish decisions can be minimized until retirement. We need to publicly commend this constable for having the integrity to stand his ground and do his job. And while in this present Banana Republic, failed nation, third world, narco state cesspool, led by a stunting fool and his cabinet of knuckleheads, he is not recognized for the shining beacon of hope that he is. We should want him to know that his actions have not gone unnoticed, and that should he decide to take the airport's authority in front of every legal court for this gross violation of decency, the law, and his rights, any and all support we can make available to him, he can count on it. They say a nation of wolves led by sheep will soon find itself in ruin. I wonder what they would say of one led by lawless donkeys. Trinidad and Tobago, that issue of that constable being fired, being suspended without pay, the message was so clear. And my concern is that's not the first time. That's not the first one. All through the ranks in this country, government ministers, cabinet ministers are being allowed to flout whatever tiny little authority they think they have, granted to them by the Constitution. And that authority is not authority to break the law. Moses should be disciplined. Camille Robinson-Regis, who should be on a list of usual suspects for her using the credit card for her weave, for using the credit card for her fertility treatments, for showing up in her bank with a brown bag full of money that she still can't account for to this day. She can't be looking for any security officer to give her an excuse from passing through customs and immigration. We don't know what she's smuggling in. And that is a fact. And that is what it is for. And in the United States of America, they instituted dashboard cams in police cruisers so that when they pull you over, no matter who you are, the officer have no discretion to let you go if he find out it is a government minister. If you are holding a senior public office, you have a higher standard to hold the nation's rules and laws to than the average person. Not get a blight. If we could take any calls now, we will take your call. 628-9595, 628-3131. Let's go. Hello, good morning. I think we missed it. I am putting my headphones to the mic. You think they're hearing on the social media. Social media, I want you all to tell me if I'm wasting my time holding the headphones to the mic when we get the calls, or are you all hearing the calls? Because I'm trying to keep you all in the thing. Yeah, let's go for that. Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning. I want to ask two questions. Do you remember when Congress had a protest by the Prime Minister office?
Yes.
Right. And you remember what you all were chanting? What you and the people were chanting? Kamala must go. You part of it.
Kamala and Rowley must go. Don't call in here and be no UNC sycophant and think this is some kind of UNC party. Kamala and Rowley must go. Call her. You had an argument with my people at that march, and we will argue. You can cut that call. We will argue with you till the cows come home. I want you to understand something. Oh God, more calls coming. All right, let's take that. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, man. Yeah, it's loud and clear for this video. Yeah. So the on the issue of this security guard suspended, it's a real sad thing in this country when you get out two politicians, two government ministers could have a security guard suspended all people 2 weeks before this job.
Madness. 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 No, we're standing with him. We're standing with him. This is not done here. This is not going to be done here. This man going to be a symbol. Don't worry about that. Anything else you need to add?
Well, Philip, I just want to say, I keep telling you I'm a supporter at the United National Congress, but I like your ideas. I'm from the Martin West. I like your ideas. I support you.
Come across, brother.
I know it's a hard fight.
Come across, brother.
I know Sycophant, I just like some of Kamala policies, but those styling are totally different than the other political parties. And one night you put somebody good down on my side in Martin West, you'll get representation where my group is concerned.
Thank you, my brother. Have an excellent day. And that is what we're talking about. That is when the people are waking up. You could say I as a PNM supporter, as a UNC supporter, but the Progressive Empowerment Party changing the game. That sycophant who call in there to talk to us about the march against. We was talking Rowley must go and Kamala must go. I want to ask him, if Kamala Prasad Bisesa really cared about the people of this country, I told Kamala, I was on Hema Ramkisoon's show when Kamala had now come into government, and I said, if you want to fix this country, rebuild the family, make home ownership for all a reality, remove the VAT and the duty and all the cost on basic home building material. The same way Sabga get Grand Bazaar and Bayside Towers on state land for small money. The same way that they could benefit from that, the same way that Derek Chin have Movie Town on government land, paying pennies for that land every month, every year. The same way you could make land available to build homes for the poor, for the people now stepping out. Not this nonsense that the HDC doing, building $1 million homes to enrich finances. You could build homes in this country, starter homes, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, 1,100 square feet homes, 900 to 1,100 square feet, starter homes, proper communities. You could build those for under $100,000. That exists in the world. We have calls coming in. We have to keep taking them. Hello, good morning. Yeah, listen there.
I have a problem with it. If I had my way, you see all that is, you know, what they're building all over the country and they just leave them to go to waste. If I had my way, I'd stop all that. You see all them people and them who work in government and all these public servants and them, since they work in government and government have access to the salary, our empty houses are available for them to buy. Who outside could buy agency houses, so our empty are available for them. In the 41 constituency throughout the country, you know what I would have done? All the land, one under the state. Now we have three different types of people who own land in this country. We have Arangwell, we have Solmaya, they might have 1 or 2 other people, and then the majority are owned by the state. In the 41 constituency throughout the country, what I would have done, I would have made land available for every citizen in each one of the constituency. These HC houses and them, I would have stopped every project and I was building so much.
Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. Thank you for your contribution. You're doing a fantastic job. Thank you for your contribution. I'll take it from there. And he's right, because the HDC, we need a commission of inquiry into the HDC alone. The Progressive Empowerment Party promises you 2 commissions of inquiry, unlike any in the past. We want a commission of inquiry into the Housing Development Corporation back to National Housing Authority days, back to NHA days. We want to come forward and find all of the money that was spent through National Housing Authority and the HDC. We also want a commission of inquiry into public health. Public health will jail prime ministers in this country. What took place disguised as public health? This is a country that took small people health contributions from their salaries, from their wages, and use it to finance Apsara and Tamnaktai so that 1% could go on boogie and disco dance in Siam discotheque around the savannah. That is the madness that takes place in this country, and all of these things not going to change unless you change away from the PNM and the UNC. Let's take that call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Mr. Alexander, the guy that suspended the officer, I would like to know, I know Mr. Jared Griffith is the commissioner, maybe not responsible for airport police, but I would like to hear his views on that, because he's one that says he's going to crack down on corrupted officers, right? If this gentleman was doing his duty as the superintendent, said he was right in that he prohibited them, but he should have acknowledged that they are government ministers. So who are they? They are human beings who have to obey the laws and the rules of the country. And as Mr. Alexander, you rightly said, I travel abroad. NYPD, if they stop a judge or whoever and they break the law, they are being issued with tickets for being charged.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thanks for that call. And that's the truth. We have more. I take all. Hello, good morning.
Morning, Mr. Alexander. Yesterday, you know what yesterday was, Mr. Alexander?
What was yesterday?
You see, this country is very, very, very backward in the world. Yesterday was World International Disabled People Day.
You serious?
And this, yes.
And you know, yesterday I got in an argument with a woman out for a disabled parking spot outside Massey West Mall, because I told her, I said it's decades I fought to get those disabled spots for the genuinely disabled. Anyway, let me hear your thing.
Yes, and this government has nothing with it.
Nothing.
Washington media-wise.
Nothing.
You know, Washington is to show that they will get doing something for the disabled community for this country.
Thanks for your call. We will address that. I want to ask you, please, take my number 682-2110. Send me a text message with your name and your phone number so I can talk to you off here. Yes? Caller? Hello? We lost that. Okay. Just stick a pin for a minute because I want to address that. The disabled community in this country, we still have no laws. We have no laws to protect them. If a disabled person go into a bank to deal with the tellers, they have no facilities to treat with that. We have no jobs set aside for the people consigned to wheelchairs. We treat them like second-class citizens. Yet you're walking TSTT, TNTech, WASA, all of these companies that have data entry personnel or cashiers or people that have to deal with customers that are in seated positions all day. You are training people to do these jobs. Why aren't you training people who are consigned and confined to a wheelchair already? Why not give them those jobs so that they could be gainfully employed and functional members of society? I fought to get handicapped parking spaces at all the major conglomerates and malls in this country. I worked together with Lincoln Myers and Rolling Thunder and the rest of the guys you see selling barbecue and curry outside of the groceries to survive. The Jericho Project, of which I am the founder, was one of the first organizations to lead the charge for the disabled in this country outside of the disabled community themselves, and we work together with a lot of them. And the truth of the matter is the fact that we still don't have any laws to protect those disabled parking spaces is an indictment against this nation. We have no care or consideration for people. Those videos that you saw of people fighting one another for some stale, stink, processed ham, that is an indication of what they want you to be. Devil take the hindmost. Who dares wins. Kick down people to save $50. That is insanity. They are promoting insanity when they're supposed to be promoting cohesion. We're supposed to be living as one people under one flag. Respect is supposed to be our national watchword. Not tolerance. Respect. Respect for each other. Discipline, tolerance, and production. Eric Williams was setting up a slave farm, a worker farm. We're supposed to have excellence and respect in our our watchwords. That's what we were supposed to be aiming for. Respect for the elderly, respect for children, respect for parents, respect for family, respect for strangers, respect for each other. That don't come into the thing nowhere. So when Massey want to try a Black Friday stunt to send poor people to kick up and throw down one another for cheap, as Mikey K called this morning, processed swine, that upset me. Why encourage that? Why set the people against each other? We're supposed to be promoting one people under one flag, but these political parties are deathly afraid of that, because the day we unite the people of this country away from race, the PNM and the UNC will be consigned to the political dustbin for the rest of our history. We have any more calls coming through there? Right, yeah, here we go. Hello, good morning. We until 10. It's every day, but it's until 10. Thank you. Thank you for that. My program going a little good so far. I like that. That is, oh God, we have more. All right, we'll take 2 more calls. Hello. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Alexander?
Yes?
Right. What is you see happening in this country is the Green New Deal system, where you have to win some way to get something done, right? And you have to pay a bribe. I wonder which part of this government is going to those have to pay a bribe, right? Look, right now we have a probate going on, right? And before we can get this thing, it's taking years. Why? I have no idea, right? And they're going to pass a little bribe.
I'm going to address that as soon as you come off the phone. What's the second thing you wanted to raise?
Well, it's only basically that same issue across the board. Any way of licensing, right?
Well, I want to tell you, but I can't talk to you while I hold the headphone like this because I got a little feedback. So I'll talk to you at the end of your call, yeah?
Yeah.
Thanks a lot for your contribution, my friend.
Right.
Yeah, and that issue of, I guess this video of me putting on and taking off the headphones is going to be comical, but I don't know how else to get around it. Sometime during this week, the technical people are going to figure out how to get us plugged in so that the people who are watching us on social media, yeah, we will do that, right? We will organize so that those who are watching, the technical people have already solved the problem. What we need is a second pair of headphones. So all of you who are the usual suspects who like to donate to the PEP, all we need is a small, good quality headphone. Donate it today so that by tomorrow we'll be able to mount it on one of the microphones and you'll be able to be hearing all the calls as they happen. So yeah, we would like that today. You all have my number, 682-2110. Call me, and if you would like to donate the headphones, would appreciate it greatly. And coming back to that issue that caller just raised, that is why everything is broken. Everything is broken in this nation to facilitate corruption. Corruption from the bottom up. Nobody likes it, but we're stuck in it. We're stuck in a broken and corrupt country. If you reach a brick wall, and you have to spend money to get beyond that wall or stay stuck, you're going to spend money. It is a nation whose public sector is so broken and corrupt that it corrupts the citizens. We need to undo that. We need to make corruption a thing of the past. And the way to do that is to make the public sector functional. No more of these over-bloated offices and jobs for life. What we need are people properly trained to do their jobs, incentivized and motivated. And those of you who hear me say that didn't expect that a PNM government would have been firing TSTT and Petrotrin workers. The truth of the matter is, and this is our last call, so please, the last 2 calls. All right. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes?
Philip, I know you have a very good idea, but one thing that you say that I said ask him, and I hope you intend to change that out. You want a commissioner inquiry, because a lot of people get away with a lot of nonsense that they should be making serious deals for. And apart from making serious deals, having to repay all the investors. And but part of the problem that I think in the country is that those responsible for dealing deals, what is part of the system, the legal system? The legal system and the shenanigans.
Absolutely. And I want to, I'm glad you raised that point. I'm glad you raised that point. I want you to listen off here and I will address that, right? I'm glad you raised that point. That's it? Right, let's deal with that. Commissions of inquiry. Every commission of inquiry did its job. A commission of inquiry is a tool. A commission of inquiry's job is to identify wrongdoing and wrongdoers. That is the entire role and remit and function of a commission of inquiry. After that is done, a document is created. These are the wrongdoers. This is the wrongdoing. And that is provided to the police, the parliament, and the director of public prosecutions to action. A drill lying down in your toolbox can't drill a hole by itself. A drill's function is to make a hole, but somebody have to hold that drill. It is up to the government, the law enforcement, and the director of public prosecutions to take action. Every commission of inquiry that I am aware of from the Scott drug report come forward, the off report, the commission of inquiry into CLICO, all of those identified wrongdoing and wrongdoers that were not actioned. And the difference with a progressive empowerment party, and I am prepared to go as far back as 1962, from the moment we lowered the Union Jack and raised the red, white, and black, corruption galloped away, and we need to undo and redo that. I have told people I want to go and meet with Trudeau in Canada and tell him those buildings that Johnny O'Halloran built with Trinidad and Tobago money, that is ours. Repatriate them to Trinidad and Tobago. Let us work out a deal, pay for it, give Trinidad and Tobago back its money, and bring people to justice. And I want to tell you this, there is something called a continuance of a conspiracy, and this is factual, actual law. And if conspiracies are continuing to protect corruption that happened 10, 15, 20, 30 years ago, the statute of limitation does not run out because it never kicked in. If you are still conspiring to keep a corrupt act hidden, then that is a continuation of the same corrupt act, what international judges and judiciary call fruit of the same poison tree. And we, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, we need to start asking for government that talks straight. Save us the donkey go bar. We hear so much foolishness from our parliament. It is an embarrassment. Every single day I am given another opportunity to shake my head in absolute shame as to what comes out of leadership. And I want to ask Kamla Persad-Bissessar and Ansel Roger before I close today, what did they give y'all to silence you so that they could take Petrotrin? What? What did the people who orchestrated that maneuver give to anybody that you all allowed it to happen? Ansel Roger, you have questions to answer on earth and after in the afterlife. You sold the people of the OWTU out because there is no rhyme or reason to me. Because if I was the leader of the OWTU, Keith Rowley would have to come straight. This is not what took place there with that Petrotrin. I'll be very careful on People Radio Station, but I want to say this to Trinidad and Tobago. Do not accept this. Do not accept what took place during the Christmas season where TSTT offices, B-Mobile offices were shut down to send the profits to private friends and financiers of the PNM. That is what they did. The same work that was being done in the B-Mobile offices are now being done in friends and financiers of the PNM, their personal offices. It is selling state assets to private enterprise. There are a couple fools walking around parroting, shut it down and sell it, shut it down and sell it. Step one. Step one is to make it profitable. Petrotrin is an energy company. There are vicissitudes in the energy industry. There is an ebb and a flow. There is profits fall and profits rise. We were always supposed to right size and make Petrotrin profitable. Everybody's an expert now about the quality of our oil and the quality of our gas and the quality of our management and who was being overpaid. Yet that company built this country. The billions of dollars that we talk every year that comes through the budget comes from Petrotrin and NGC. I am fed up of the nonsense and the doublespeak. And another thing, you see this foolishness that you all get away with, what this side do and what that side do? In a real developed country, nobody gets to talk about what the last prime minister do. You applied for the job. Nobody sent for you, Rowley. Nobody sent for Kamla. Nobody sent for Pandey. Nobody sent for Manning. All of y'all begged for the job. All of y'all auditioned for the job. Rowley campaigned for 5 straight years for the job. Stop telling me what anybody else did. I am judging you by you. I am judging you, Keith Christopher Mugabe Sabga Rowley. I am judging you By you, by your performance. 3 years into government, and all you have done is further destroy this country and blaming the last band of clowns that was there before you, making fools of the people and a mockery of the institution of government. We have 6 more minutes, and before we wrap the show, I wanted to read something for everybody to understand. And this is very, very, very important that everybody need to know, because it can't work unless we all get together. It can't work unless we work together. And I hope that I saved it, because this is supposed to be it here. Yeah? I want to read the Constitution, the opening of the Constitution of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, because Trinidadians need to understand this. Long before the Constitution recognized President, Prime Minister, Parliament, or police, it recognizes the people. And you need to know that. The people are the most important thing according to the Supreme Law. Trinidad and Tobago exists. It exists. Its owner's manual is called the Constitution of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Every single public office holder, it's their job, is spoken into existence through this document or via this document. Every law that is enforced in this country must align with this document. This is the owner's manual for Trinidad and Tobago, the Constitution of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. And I am asking each and every one of you to familiarize yourself with this. But I want you to hear the first line of the Constitution of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, and it is, whereas the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Everything else that flows from there starts. A, B, C, D, E are all the sections of this opening of the Constitution. This line says, who owns the country? The people of Trinidad and Tobago. Everything else flows from there. Whereas the people of Trinidad and Tobago have affirmed that the nation of Trinidad and Tobago is founded upon principles that acknowledge the supremacy of God, faith in fundamental human rights and freedoms, the position of the family in a society of free men and free institutions, the dignity of the human person, and the equal and inalienable rights with which all members of the human family are endowed by their Creator. Whereas the people of Trinidad and Tobago respect the principles of social justice and therefore believe that the operation of the economic system, I want you to hear this, this is the foundation stone of the Constitution of the Republic, and it is on this that the last 2 governments should be fired and taken before courts. Whereas the people of Trinidad and Tobago respect the principles of social justice and therefore believe that the operation of the economic system should result in the material resources of the community being so distributed as to subserve the common good, that there should be adequate means of livelihood for all, that labor should not be exploited or forced by economic necessity to operate in inhumane conditions, but that there should be opportunity for advancement on the basis of recognition of merit, ability, and integrity. Whereas the people of Trinidad and Tobago have asserted their belief in a democratic society in which all persons may, to the extent of their capacity, play some part in the institutions of the national life and thus develop and maintain due respect for lawfully constituted authority. Whereas the people of Trinidad and Tobago recognize that men and institutions remain free only when freedom is founded upon respect for moral and spiritual values and the rule of law. Whereas the people of Trinidad and Tobago desire that their constitution should enshrine the above mentioned principles and make provision for ensuring the protection in Trinidad and Tobago of fundamental human rights and freedoms. And I want you to be very clear about that. I want you to tell that to your Prime Minister. I want you to tell that to your opposition leader. I want you to tell that to every police officer, every lawyer, to the DPP, to the Chief Justice, to the President. I want you to tell that to every office holder. I want you to print that and save that in your pocket. I want you to say, I am a stakeholder in this country. I am a shareholder in this country. I am an inheritor of this country. This is my land. And according to the Constitution of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, I have rights, each and every one of you. Share those rights on your Facebook. Share it on your WhatsApp. Share it on social media. Tell each other, one to the other, you as a citizen of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, you have inalienable rights. And the Progressive Empowerment Party hopes to be able to provide the vehicle that takes us to a place that passes a law that for the first and final time in this country enshrines a citizen's Bill of Rights that says, from this day forward, Parliament shall make no law that abridges human rights in Trinidad and Tobago. This is the end of the first episode of Live with Philip Edward Alexander on 104.7. Thank all of you who were here with me this morning. Thanks to my operator who made life easier for me today and is helping me seamlessly integrate into this. Thank all of the loyal viewers of 104.7 and those of you on social media. See you tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Stay safe, Trinidad and Tobago.